Hi everyone, this is Todd Williams. How everyone is doing today? And this is my unpopular wrestling opinions on Impact Wrestling is the real women's wrestling revolution. Before you grab my butt on this unpopular wrestling opinion, please note that I don't have no issue with other promotion in wrestling whatsoever. AEW is doing their own thing in the women's division. WWE is doing their own thing in their women's division. Impact, the same. NXT, the Japanese promotion, Stardom, Triple A, the list goes on and on. Well, I'm trying to say in this video that in women wrestling, there is lots of progress because of Impact Wrestling and Shimmer. Impact Wrestling and Shimmer are the two companies who value women and their talents of being wrestlers, being entertainers. They want women to have a voice in wrestling. They want women to progress of being wrestlers instead of being women wrestlers. So I applaud Impact Wrestling to make women wrestling matters, or having these women's wrestlers or women in general in Impact and make a statement telling the wrestling community like, yeah, women could do these things if you put faith in them, if you value them, if you respect them as a person, and I feel that other wrestling companies are still have this mental mentality on women should know their place and women should know their roles and women should not be like the men. That's how they think. But Impact is more like, I want everyone to be the best what they can be and be more grounded and respectful when it comes to wrestling. And I feel that Impact have this new idea for women wrestlers to be equal as the men, but has some type of what's the word? Decency and self-respect and honor about themselves as wrestlers. And I feel that's why lots of women wrestlers who from the indies and even have a associate of mine who is training to be a wrestler, and she was stating that I want to be a wrestler and I want to be treated like a wrestler and I want to be respected as a wrestler, and she want that opportunity to let the world see that she's not this pretty face, or, and she's very pretty by the way, but it's like she's not this pretty face who degraded herself and show her butt and make guys look at her body. She's all about the business. She's like a huge wrestling fan. She's like way a wrestling fan I am. And she's in her mid 20s and she talking about I want to wrestle and I want to be in matches where what the guys do, but I want to make it more believable and not make it more like tacky and baunchy. And she really want to go to Impact Wrestling because you feel that Impact Wrestling will understand her, and that's her dream. And I feel why she want to go to Impact Wrestling, because Impact Wrestling is all about an opportunity to shine, the opportunity to grow who you are as a character. Like when I watch these talented wrestlers who build a name for themselves and grow in popularity there, and then all of a sudden there was rumors about them going to WWE or going to another company like New Japan Pro Wrestling or Triple A, Lucha Libre. It's like you heard these things, and I feel bad for Impact Wrestling because I feel like Impact Wrestling had the potential, had what make wrestling interesting, but it's something about the management team is very shady and disorganized, and it's too much. And I understand why people want to leave Impact because of the management and the shadiness. Like, for instance, Gail Kim. Gail Kim is the pioneer on women's wrestling. I don't care what anybody said. Gail Kim should have full credit on the things going down on women's wrestling. Without her, we don't see no Tessa Blanchard, no Sasha Banks, no Charlotte, no Becky Lynch. The list goes on and on. She make that happen. Awesome Kong. Like, she make women wrestling entertaining and respectful. The stuff what Gail Kim do, like, it's amazing. Even if you love Gail Kim or not, when it comes to wrestling, she is the GOAT. She is the GOAT. Like, she is the one that do these moves that you don't see wrestler do. And the funny thing about it too is that you have guys who was wrestlers and talking about women this, women that, women wrestling sucks. But you find out, if you watch their matches, I'm not saying those wrestlers' names, but if you find out about their matches, you see them doing Gail Kim moves. Like moves that Gail Kim do. It's funny because it saddens me for Gail Kim is that people don't realize how underrated she is. Like her style, how she moves, how she projects. Even Jim Cornette did this old comment about Gail Kim in Awesome Kong. And yes, the famous Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim match that hit it off for women's wrestling. That hit it off. The way she make it believable, Like you see Awesome Khan, she's a big woman, strong and powerful. You see Gail Kim, she's like a tiny little woman, but got a lot of heart, a lot of speed, a lot of intelligence, and she just like amazing. And I feel that's why I said Gail Kim is so underrated, and same thing as Khan. And I feel that's the reason why people have this whole agenda of saying like, oh, Trish Stratus is greater than Lita and Gail Kim and everybody down below. That's the issue, okay? But I'm not gonna say it here. But I'm just saying that people don't realize that Gail Kim make her mark in wrestling without degrading herself. She makes something that we don't see in wrestling. Okay? And when people view Trish Stratus as like, oh, she's the greatest of all time, but none of you, I'm saying this, none of you didn't remember the things she did to inspire you and make you feel like, oh, she's awesome, she's a badass. I could remember things of what Lita did and what Gail Kim did, Awesome Khan did, that make a mark in wrestling. And people want to sit down and saying that, oh, Trish Stratus is the greatest of all time, and Stacy Keibler is the greatest of all time, Tori Wilson is the greatest of all time, but you looking at yourself as someone who prefers hot, sexy women instead of their talents, instead of their gifts. And I think that's the reason why I feel that Impact Wrestling is exposing that on how some wrestling companies and wrestling communities is so hypocrite when it comes to their views on women's wrestling. And I feel that the views on women's wrestling is strongly divided on the idea what one's supposed to be. And there's a group of people who's all about looks and the sex sell gimmick for the woman wrestler. And there's a second group is all about, is she good in the ring? Is she good in the mic? What is her gimmick? What is her origin story? What is her character? And that is the reason women wrestling is divided, because of that. But I feel that Impact Wrestling will give a new found respect for women wrestling and for women wrestlers who want to see themselves as wrestlers. I will applaud them. Even they make a woman to be a heavyweight champion. Okay? And all of a sudden, things went left. She gone. You know who she is. Tessa Blanchard. And the funny thing about it too with Impact, is it me when somebody in Impact who is over in Impact, who gains so much popularity, and when I mean gains the popularity, like people know their name, people are crazy about them, and this sounds far-fetched. When Impact wrestlers become hugely popular, it always something going on in Impact. Like that wrestler leaves, go to another company, or have a fallout. Like they wind up in some other company when they become overly popular. And that's what I'm saying. Something about Impact. It just like, you understand what I'm talking about. It's very bizarre. Like AJ Styles, he is over in Impact. Then something happened. He leaves. Gail Kim, same thing. But she came back though and fixed the women's division. Love Gail Kim. Um, Awesome Kong, same thing. And it's just like so much stuff. I just question about that. But anyway, um, that being said, this is Ty Williams. Good day and goodbye.